Here again with another Big Bang Theory Season 7 episode review video. Before I get into that, though, pretty important, if you weren't caught up to the point where I am and rewatching or watching The Big Bang Theory, or you're just not entirely sure, that you definitely need to take the initiative and pay attention to the episode's title, which, of course, I'll mention, as well as put in the description for you. If that happens to be the case and you're not caught up, it would be my recommendation that you don't watch this video any further, to stay away from any type of spoilers, which there really aren't a lot of spoilers in a sitcom, but regardless, make sure you're caught up. This will be The Big Bang Theory Season 7, Episode 5. The title of this episode is called The Workplace Proximity. And this will be my review, reaction, recap after just finishing watching the episode about an hour ago. Awkward silence on date night for Sheldon and Amy at the Cheesecake Factory. They're both doing their own thing, although Amy obviously would want more, but Sheldon's busy looking things up. And Penny says to Amy, I don't remember what the exact words are, but something to the degree of, wow, how could you just sit here with that in front of you? I would rip his clothes off. And Sheldon says, if you ever did something like that in here, I would scream. And then Amy tells Sheldon that she's been invited to consult on a experiment at the university that Sheldon works at, Caltech, for a few months. So Sheldon says this is a good thing because riding with Leonard is getting a little lame. The only game that Leonard wants to play while riding with him is the quiet game. So Sheldon sees the benefit on how he could get more rides from Amy because she's going to be working in, pretty much the same proximity as him, although they're different buildings, but right next to each other. So, and then apparently Sheldon is going to use the bathroom at the Cheesecake Factory because of something that Amy told him, which is very weird. I don't think I've ever seen Sheldon use a public restroom before, but hey, stuff happens randomly. And then Sheldon is busy with Leonard, Raj, and Howard, and says to the guys he won't be spending any more time seeing Amy. He'll just deduct that time from the time that they have outside of work. So he'll see her at work, and the time that he sees her at work, he'll deduct out of date night and all this stuff. So he's got it all figured out. And Leonard's like, have you asked Amy about that yet? So he thinks about it, and Howard says, I wouldn't want to work with my Bernadette. We'd drive each other crazy. So we go over to Penny's house, and Penny, Bernadette, and Amy are talking girl talk and talking about Amy working at Caltech. And then we hear knock, 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 Amy, Bernadette, and Penny. Knock, 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 Amy, Bernadette, and Penny. Knock, 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 Amy, Bernadette, and Penny. 3 times, of course, like he usually does. And Amy hopes to put Sheldon's repetition to work someday. She loves his repetition, and she's going to put it to work one of these days. And it actually does happen. I can't remember when, but I know it's in a couple seasons or something like that. Season 9, 8, I don't even remember. 10, I can't remember. But anyway, Sheldon tells Amy that he's reconsidered and that they can't work together. And Amy's like, Sheldon, I'm going to keep my distance from you. I'm not going to be in your way. I'm going to do my own thing, and you can do your own thing. And then Sheldon's like, oh, well, if that's the case. And then Bernadette is mad because of what Sheldon told her Howard says. And she storms over to Sheldon and Leonard's place and says, find somewhere else to sleep tonight, to Howard. So Howard goes over to Raj's house. And then Amy is, we're at the university now. And Amy's getting along with people at Caltech. There's some professors or people with smarts. I don't remember if they were professors or not. And she's having lunch with them. And so Sheldon, I think, has a little bit of jealousy. So he goes over there and introduces himself. I'm Amy's boyfriend. We do all this stuff together. We do this. It's interesting. And then he makes jokes that are not that funny and kind of insulting to a degree to these people. Amy and Sheldon take turns kicking each other under the table. And then we see Amy in her office doing an experiment with a monkey, showing him images and seeing how the monkey reacts to images, and he doesn't react to any images. And then she shows him a picture with a crocodile with a mouthful of monkeys, I believe is what she said. And of course he reacts to that. Then Sheldon stops by and he reacts to some of the pictures, like the crocodile thing. Oh, good dear Lord, and stuff like that. And tells her that she can take him home. And then Amy's like, Sheldon, I'm busy. She's, of course, mad at Sheldon for embarrassing her during lunch. And so that's an argument that happens. And eventually Sheldon has to take the bus home. So he gets home and Leonard and Penny are snuggling together. They're under a blanket and sitting on the couch, not in Sheldon's spot. And where have you been all night? I had to take the bus home. And then Sheldon says to Penny, can you believe that she said I embarrassed her? And Leonard tells Sheldon, you're wrong. Trust me. And then we have Bernadette, who stops by Raj's place and says, Howard, I may have overreacted. And then Howard's like, yeah, okay. I tell you what, tomorrow I'm turning a new leaf. Why tomorrow? Because we're really close to finishing the new Batman game. Oh, boy. So Sheldon goes over to Amy's place, and it seems like it's really late at night. I don't know how late, if it's like 8 o'clock, 10 o'clock, around midnight, 2 in the morning, probably not that late. And he says all relationships are difficult, goes over a few things, and Sheldon says something to her. Well, he says, I like you for who you are, quirks and all. And Amy's like, are you kidding me? You're the one with all the quirks, you weirdo. She doesn't actually say that because she loves her, loves him. So she shuts the door, and Sheldon's like, oh, just, whatever. And then Bernadette and Amy go to the Cheesecake Factory, and Penny's bartending. So Sheldon must not have came over there that late if they right away went to the Cheesecake Factory. And both are pissed, of course, at their boyfriends. And Penny says that Leonard is going to sit the guys down and set them straight. And then the episode ends with the guys having a balloon fly in the apartment, and then destroying the balloon with a laser, or destroying it, just having the balloon pop with the laser pointing at it, and that's how things end. So this episode had some definite funny moments in it. My score of it, I'm going to give it an 8.4 out of 10. The character of the episode is obviously Sheldon, because he was just freaking hilarious. Not his funniest episode, but there's lots of moments in this episode where I just laughed my ass off. Probably like 3 moments where I was laughing. And then, as many of you know, I started watching The Big Bang Theory because I saw Penny. And so I decided that I would rate Penny in every episode. It's something that I do. It's something else to talk about. I'm going to score Penny an 8.5 in this episode out of 10. So you've heard what I have to say. Now, of course, it's your turn. If you're a fan of The Big Bang Theory and want to help me out with the YouTube algorithm, please make sure that you Hulk smash that like button. Even 5 more likes a video go a long way from like the 6 to 10 that I usually get. So if you could take the time, especially if you're watching the video, to go ahead and like it, that helps me out. Or tell me what I have to do aside from putting the actual episode in the video for you to like it. And if you don't want to like it, that's fine too. It's fine. Share the video with your friends. Put this video on any one of your social media platforms if you deem it something that you want to share. Sound off in the comments section about what your thoughts are on this episode of The Big Bang Theory. What would you score it? And whom, if you had to choose, would be your character of the episode? And if you want to rate Penny like I do, go ahead and rate Penny and let me know what your score is. And then last but certainly not least, don't forget to hit that sub button. You're watching the video anyway. Subscribe to the channel, join the team, show your damn support, and be a part of something special. And JDev will return.